All right, welcome back to Sports Extra as we've officially made it to the end of the regular season in Major League Baseball and potentially the end of the line for some longtime members of the Braves, including manager Brian Snitker, whose contract ends. There's no word on what's next for him and if he's retiring. And Snit says it's really just because of him.
If not, it's not their fault. I haven't approached them. So, you know what, that's as much, me, and I'm okay. You know what, if we're going to talk this week. So, and that's kind of where I wanted it to go, if you want to know the truth. So, that's on me.
Man, I love Snit. Grant John still alongside him as we roll on. Post-game, he said that the players haven't asked about it either, but they will be the first ones to know. So I'm going to ask you guys, Grant, if he decides to hang it up, do you see this being the end of the line for him, and how do you think he'll be remembered if it is?
Well, the first part of it, I think, is what he's wrestling with right now. Because if you asked me at the start of the year, I would have felt like there was a decent possibility that year 49 in the Braves organization, which is a crazy number to think about, could be the final one. Then they play poorly as the season goes along. You think, well, maybe this is going to be enough for him. Then all of a sudden they play a little bit better. And I think that maybe at that point, as that end started marching or creeping a little bit closer, that he started thinking, well, maybe I want to come back, and maybe this team is capable of a little bit more. So that question is going to have to be answered this week. I believe that it will be by Friday, but obviously there are some conversations that have to be had between Alex Anthopoulos and Brian Snitker, among others. So the way I look at this is very simple. Brian Snitker is the third most winningest manager in franchise history. The only two that have won more, Bobby Cox and Frank Seeley, are both in the Hall of Fame. And as you can see right there, hoisting a World Series trophy, that's quite a legacy for any manager. So I think Brian Snitker, he may have taken some heat for some different things over the years, but it's not all on the manager. And I think that we'll appreciate him more as time goes along.
What do you think? Does he come back, and would you like to see him back?
Yeah, I think he comes back. I think kind of hedging everything that we've heard over the last couple of weeks, I think he's hedged his bet that he's going to come back. I'm with you, Grant. You would have asked me at the end of July when they were kind of out of the playoff race, I would have been like, all right, he's playing out the string. But then all of a sudden you get hot. You see Michael Harris playing good ball. Hurston Waldrop comes up from AAA, and it looks like you've got yourself another stud pitcher. I think Brian Snitker makes one last run. I'd like him to announce, I'm going to come back for one more year, and let's go win it for Snit. Because this team is talented enough to do so. Unlike the Mets, we won't choke away a big lead if we're in the lead. Just saying, I had to take it.
You had to. And we talked about it before we even went to this block. You're like, I got to talk about the Mets.